Welcome to the Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmoedown podcast. Introducing your hosts, Justin Hamilton, Ferris Muthana, Bidoor, and Suge Knight 323. Now, let's get ready to talk Schmoedown.
And what's going on? How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Suge Knight 323. I'm here with the crew, my crew right here, these people that I love and adore. Starting off with my boy Ferris. What's going down, Ferris? How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm chilling, man. Let's do this shit, man.
And my boy Justin, what's going on, boss?
Yeah, thank you, Ferris, for already making it unchild friendly at the very beginning. Appreciate it.
Right.
But, dude, man, I'm excited, man, because, like, what else could you say? We had one of the best, like, tag team matches out there of the year to start off this pay-per-view event, and then we turn around and had, I mean, come on, man. One of the greatest matches that we've had this year as well in the championship match. Only, to me, right now, probably second to the Atlanta Dan Murrell, Ben Bateman match, who both went to overtime.
And, of course, we got our great host, Bidoor. How you doing today, Bidoor?
You're muted.
You're muted.
It's just muted all day long, baby.
Oh, no!
How you doing tonight?
I am doing good. I was just saying that Justin is just going into the match before me saying hello, and hold on, my dog's on my bed, and I don't want that.
Get off the bed, Ivy.
Yeah, we don't need no dog pee on the bed tonight. So yeah, so once Bidoor gets back, just everybody, thank you very much for coming and joining us tonight. We will be talking spoilers. We will be talking this great pay-per-view match that we saw tonight. But first, we're going to start off with the play-in match between Bonnie Somerville and Marisol McKee. So once we get to the pay-per-view match, we will say spoilers. So that is, if you have not seen the match today, come back, watch this on YouTube, or come check it out back on Twitch another time. So yeah, let's talk about this the third play-in match of the week. Between Bonnie Somerville and Marisol McKee. This was a interesting match to say the least, because first off, we all know Bonnie. She's a veteran of the game. I will say that she is a veteran of the game. But she's had her struggles. Sorry, I'm fixing my light.
Oh my god, he's on my bed again.
She's had her struggles, but she was going to be playing against a new competitor in Marisol McKee. And so, I don't know what you guys are expecting from this match. But we actually got a very entertaining match, from the start. Justin, what was your thoughts going into this match?
Really interested in seeing what Marisol is going to be capable of. And we all saw what we saw. She is very capable. It wouldn't surprise me if she pulls off a couple surprise wins, either in the tournament or just anywhere else down the line. And I'm going to tell you what, like, Bonnie was one of those iffy things. She came into the match, though I felt like she was more into this match than she's probably ever been, it seemed like. I mean, you could tell by how many points she scored. She has been that person that's kind of there for entertainment most of the time, but she came into this one right here and actually played the game. I thought she got a little flustered here and there, but I mean, she scored I think this may have been her best scoring performance of her career.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And let's say this: she got her 5-pointer correct. So we're not breaking this down round by round, but she got her 5-pointer correct. And we saw two champions today that didn't get their 5-pointers correct. That's why we had to go to overtime.
Yeah, she definitely surprised me. I did not think she would get as many points as she did, just based on her track record alone. I didn't know anything about Marisol, but I thought she was going to win just based on how Bonnie has played before. But it has been an interesting match, and she looked good.
It was a very interesting match. Cameron, I believe it was Cameron Crowe that was making the comments saying, this is the difference between game experience and how the game has evolved. The game has evolved, and Bonnie was there in the original Schmo days, and she played in the first Ultimate Schmoedown, and she's had her struggles, but she's come a long way. Like Justin said, she scored the most points she's ever scored in a match. So we're not going to take that away from her. But there were some issues with repeats and questions of how the game was each round, and asking questions. So Ferris, what was your thoughts on this match?
Well, it went exactly how I thought it was gonna go. Marisol was gonna win, but the more thing I was shocked is that Bonnie had 17 points. That's what threw me off because we all. I'm gonna keep bringing up James White. Everyone loves James White, and everyone thought James was gonna play good in his match. He got 18 points. Kind of struggled, but he had 18 points. Bonnie had 17. Frank Moran stayed at 15. So Bonnie looked good in this match. She pulled some of the questions in the third round. She was good in her second. I think she spun Meryl Streep in the second round. So apparently Meryl Streep is a strength of hers because she got I think 3 or 4 of her questions right, I believe. I'm gonna double check. But she looked good, and I quite enjoyed the theatrics, the back and forth between her and Shannon. But the match went as planned. Marisol McKee beat her, and Marisol, she looked impressive as well, man. Because her and Adam Collins, everyone loved Adam Collins' his performance. Her and Adam Collins had the same amount of points, 17, going into the third round. So if you're impressed with Adam Collins' performance, you should also be impressed by Marisol McKee's performance because she also had 17 points. All she needed to answer was a 2-pointer. Same thing if Bonnie missed her 5, then Marisol wouldn't have answered any. She would have TKO'd her, and then she would have the same thing Adam Collins did. But everyone loves that. I love Adam Collins' performance, and I'm gonna throw Marisol McKee into that category as well. She also played very well, and she surprised me because I knew nothing about her.
The thing that's going to go around the internet big time, and it already has a little bit, is people she should talking about Bonnie Somerville, obviously, because Marisol did fabulous in this thing. Like I said, she's going to be a very good player. She is going to step up and be one of the most powerful women in this whole league, I think, soon to come. But when you look at the other side, when you look at Bonnie Somerville, the thing about this is everybody's going to come at her because they are looking at this more of a sport, right? And that's what keeps being said all the time. It's a sport. It's a sport. It's a sport. People already had came at her because they didn't think she belonged in the tournament. They were just they're just throwing her in there for whatever reason and that kind of thing. With that being said, though, and she did have a couple of hiccups in this match. She had this very weird kind of 17-point score, but if you were to watch her match and how she acted in some of the questions, you'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe she scored 17, because she had those moments. She had a doorbell being rang in the background. She had her getting super nervous and excited even when she knew the answer. Sometimes it took her a second to just answer the questions. With those kind of things being said, though, like I said, a lot of people's coming at her talking about she shouldn't belong here. She doesn't care, this kind of thing. And man, she improved. I think she got better. I think if she actually spent more time and actually worked at it a little bit and learned the game, go back and watch some of the older matches and stuff, she could actually be a legit player in this league. Maybe not one that gets a belt, but somebody that could pull off some victories. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
I don't think so. I don't agree with that. Sure, she didn't play, her track record isn't the greatest. She came in to have fun. And no one, everyone is going to be like, oh, she doesn't belong here. That's not right, because no one is going to say that about the Wild Berries. Everyone loves the Wild Berries. Everyone wants to see the Wild Berries. But they're coming in and, drinking and having fun. They're not going to say that about them, but they're going to say it about her just because she doesn't have that Wild Berry following.
Yeah, absolutely. And, a lot of people do say that, the Wild Bears are just here to have fun. So if we're going to say the Wild Bears are just here to have fun, we then can't sit there and criticize Bonnie for, and she did better. She did better than her last matchup again when she played against Brett Sheridan. So you know,
She had 17
I
points.
totally agree
She had 17 points.
Yeah, I agree with Bidoor, and totally agree that if she improved. You know, maybe not leaps and bounds, but she improved. So, you know, hey, I'm okay with that. You know, as long as you're showing improvement and that you care, I'm okay with it. You know, you might not be the best player in the world, but that, you know, it's fine.
The point here is, if you're going to come out and you're going to say, hey, she don't belong in the league because she's just there for entertainment, this is a sport now, that means, kind of like Bidoor said, if you're going to say that about her, you have to say that about everybody that's coming in partly for entertainment value. I mean, come on, guys. Do we really think that Kevin Smith or Chris Jericho is going to come in here and be like top of the world Schmoedown competitors going for belts and stuff? No, we're going to be watching that because of entertainment value, because of how like popular these guys are. One of them's a champion in wrestling and another one's a director of movies that we love. So like, if you're going to say that about Bonnie Somerville, then you got to say that about anybody else that comes in here that may be here for partly entertainment value, or like you said, like the Dewberries and the Josh McCudigas of the world that go in there chugging beers and drinking Fireball or whatever liquor they have at the time before a match. You can't be like, oh, well, we're only singling out Bonnie Somerville. You have to look at all the things that happen and all the competitors that's been in this league that were there for fun. You can't just single one person out because you don't like them as much. I mean, let's look at it. She's been an actress. She's played roles in movies and stuff. She fits that billing of like a Kevin Smith or a Chris Jericho being in the league.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and so,
I agree.
Yeah, totally agree. And so we're now going to move to the pay-per-view match. So if you have not watched it, spoilers. And
if you haven't watched it, go be a $10 Patreon.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Be a $10 patron.
Be a $10 patron.
You get so much money. You get so much money for that $10, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Like I feel like I'm robbing Christian Harlow.
Yeah.
All right. Wait. No. Keep it. Wait. Keep it at $10.
Yeah. These two matches were insane. Like, you really did not want to miss any of these matches.
And Thrawn, we do smile. You know. It's just,
hey man. Hey. Don't tell me how to fucking do with my face, homie. If I want to smile, I'll fucking smile. All right? You smile.
Well, there goes our explicit tag.
Good enough?
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. All right. God damn it, Ferris. You serious, man? All right, here we go. So, yeah, we're going to break down the matches now. Floppy909 has followed. Thank you, Floppy. Appreciate it. Winter Soldier gifted a sub to Raven CR. Appreciate you. And gifted a sub
shout out to my cousin Travis.
Yeah, shout out, man. Appreciate you guys. You know, appreciate it. All right, so let's get into it, man. This was, and first off, let's just start by saying this. Hats off to Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis. And I think people need to understand, you know, the pandemic has really screwed stuff up for us, and he didn't know how we were going to do it, and we went into this virtual matches, and it's been great. There hasn't been a hiccup. Today was the first hiccup, and let me tell you, it actually added to the match, and I want to shout them out because they actually did a great job of righting the ship and not making it a big issue, because it could have been a big issue. It could have been a real serious issue, and they did a great job. So I want to shout out Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis because I think they did an amazing job. What did you guys think about that internet situation? We won't spend too much time on it, but what did you guys think?
Yeah, it was messy. It definitely added to the match, and Shug, nice job trying to get back into Christian's good graces after the G incident.
What are you laughing at?
Oh God, she just owned you. She just owned you, man. Oh my God.
Ferris, what are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Ferris just lost it today. I think I did before stream.
The internet situation.
Oh yeah, man, dude. Oh man, I was so scared watching this match, man. Cause like Kid froze, and then Bibbs was choppy, and then Oyama froze for a minute, and then then Lon just disappeared, and then I was like, oh God, no.
The thing is, like, I called it before the match. I was like, I hope none of their internet go out. And I was like, I don't know why I had that feeling and why I made that comment, but I did. And I was like, shit.
I mean, the biggest thing here is like I kind of agree with Suge, because when something like this happens, look, like it's technical difficulties. They even have it on some of the biggest sporting events. I mean, look at the Super Bowl a few years ago that the lights went out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of the biggest things with people with millions of dollars, and still something happened that they couldn't control. You can't control internet. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, whatnot, and you can't help anything. Sometimes it's according on what kind of internet you have and where you're at. It could be like weather stuff going on or anything like that. So you can't really control that. But for them to keep the ship righted, I thought was pretty good. I thought that Mark Ellis and Christian both stepped up in that moment and really just kind of like galvanized and kept it afloat. Like they made it through that first round, and it seemed like everything got better after the first round whenever they kind of went off and came back. But yeah, man, I thought that was a really we knew it was going to happen eventually, and it happened, and the wheels didn't fall completely off, right? Like they just had a flat tire for a second. They had to repair it, put it back together, and let's keep going. Which seems great because like now maybe they'll keep that same kind of creativity to be able to keep going like if it happens in the future now. And now they know that not everything's over with. It's not the end of the world if somebody doesn't have the greatest of internet for a few moments.
That first round, the kid, man, he missed the first two questions of the match. Was that ring rust, or was that just the kid not knowing something?
I'm guessing it was nerves, because you could see it throughout the whole match. Like, he was nervous. Like, even Christian had to mute him because he was breathing so hard. He was so nervous.
Yeah, dude, he was, like, pacing, and he was, like, just the way... Man, the guy got me nervous and got me anxious. I remember having an anxious day, and this guy got me anxious. But yeah, someone said that wasn't Lon's internet to go. Yeah, Lon's internet went out first.
Yeah.
Bibbs was fast forwarding and then not moving, and then he would answer a question and you wouldn't see. All you would see is Bibbs standing still, but you hear him talking during the match. And so yeah, that first round was, ugh. But Christian and Mark kept it together, and I think they did a good job. They gave the competitors time to come back. They kicked it up. It seemed like when all six people were on screen, that's when the internet went bad, and Bibbs was going bad, and Paul Yama's internet. But when it was just the two competitors and Mark and Christian, everything was fine.
I think Lon in round one started freezing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in round one. But I'm saying after that, in round 2 and 3, when it was just the two competitors and Mark and Christian of each team, that's when they wouldn't really have any major issues. But that round one, what did you think of that round one, Bidoor?
I thought that Shazam were in trouble because Kid lost 2 questions in a row, but then they picked up momentum and he got more comfortable with it. And then Paul started missing and Lon missed one. And then I was like, okay, they're going to get through this. But it was definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. And it was real interesting because you're right. When you saw Meyer miss those questions, it was so weird, especially the first 2. And he wasn't even close. It wasn't like he was like, last second wrote him down. He didn't know him. And so, Justin, what were you thinking with that round one?
In round one, it was just really weird to watch because of everything that was going on with the internet and stuff like that. And it was like, man, what's going on here? What's going on there? Bibbs was like talking, not moving, stuff like that. And I agree, like the kid missed the first couple of questions, and I'm like, oh crap. Like I literally started to be like, wow, this might get ugly because like Lon and Paul are 2 great competitors, right? You leave that kind of a door open and they might just step right on through it and bang their way onto a win. But then you had later on in the round, you had Paul kind of misstep a few times, and that kind of brought it back. Yeah. So like
almost 3 questions.
Yeah. So when you look at it, like that's exactly what happened. I thought that Lon and Paul could take advantage of it, and then Paul kind of slipped up, and Paul is just one of these weird competitors. Like there's sometimes during a match or even during a full match where I think Paul Oyama is possibly one of the best, if not the best player in the league. But then he'll have slip-ups like this where he misses 2 or 3 almost in a row in that first round because like they were almost back to back to back, gave the points back to the other team basically, and they had him on the ropes there for a second. And then, he'll do like I say, he'll do this kind of thing where he misses questions. I'm like, man, dude, like, how did he win 6 in a row and become the champion like he did? So he's kind of like this kind of weird competitor, right? Like that one moment you think he's the best, and another moment you're like, man, is he as good as we think? Like he is. He's like a streaky player.
Definitely. And did you guys like Bibbs' tilted camera?
No. No.
Yeah.
It bugged you,
Like,
Ferris?
why? Why?
It's so on brand.
Really?
Well, what's the
It didn't
point?
bug me.
What's the point? You trying to be
Maybe it
different?
was-
Trying to be fancy?
Maybe it was like the only way he could have the camera and stand up.
Oh, okay, probably. Yeah, because he does love himself the standing.
Yeah.
Someone told me it was a Dutch angle, but I don't know what that is. What is that? What's a Dutch angle?
I don't know.
Yo, man, like,
That
this Paul missing 3 questions threw me off. Just threw me
Yeah.
off, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
in the past 2 matches, it was Lon who was missing the questions. Like the first match, Paul missed 1 question, and then the second match, Paul missed no questions in the first round. So he missed 1 question in those 2 matches. And then when he just missed 3 out of the gate, and I'm like, yo, you missed 3? And then he missed 2 back to back. He missed 5 and 6. So he missed 3, he hit 4, then he missed 5, 6, then got 7 and 8. That's what threw me off, man. Because the kid missing the first 2 questions, it was like basically like Alonso Duralde missing that first question as well. He ain't a little nervous, got a little ring rust, just brushing it off. Oh, you good. But Paul missing 3 after playing 2 matches back-to-back weeks, that's the one we should be worried about. And unfortunately, I'm not going to say bit him in the butt later on, but still, it didn't put him in a good position going into the second round.
Yeah, because like in the first round ends with a 15-12 score.
Yeah.
Line does really well. He only misses 1 question, 1 away from being able to be perfect and getting the perfect round as well. Bibbs gets a perfect round, which we usually expect from Bibbs. Even when Bibbs loses and even loses to someone you think he shouldn't, usually he still does a very great first round. Probably almost scores perfect. He's probably got one of the best percentages in the first round out of anyone. He usually starts to falter in a second or third round whenever he loses. But yeah, 15-12 going into that second round.
I also want to point something out in the first round. Thank you to Coco Bird for bringing that back up. Coco Bird's comment, let me bring it up. Where is it? Paul mentioned later that he second guessed himself on 2 of those questions. Paul has to up his mental game and not doubt himself. Yeah, later on in the match, Paul does say, "Oh, I knew the answers in those 2 questions, but I erased them and moved on, and I answered them." So, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes going with your gut is the right instinct. Go with your gut if you think it is. You only second guess yourself when you know for a fact the second one is the right answer.
Yeah, but here goes my argument with that kind of comment is if you know the answer, you would have got it right. You wouldn't have second guessed yourself. So, no, he didn't know the answer. He just happened to put the right answer on there and then decided that he didn't think that was right and went with something.
Yeah, in retrospect, right.
Right. So, like, he didn't know the answer because if he would have knew it, he would have put it down there and kept it on the board. Like, So for you to come back and say, oh, well, I knew the answer, I erased them. Nah, bro, you don't. Yeah. Thought it was too easy or something like that. But still, like, you don't know that it's the correct answer. You overthought yourself. You changed the answer willingly because you thought what you put down there was wrong. You can't come back after that and go, oh, wait, I knew the answer. No, you didn't. Because if you knew it, you would have got it right. You would have kept the answer on the board.
Yeah, I think it's easy to say after the fact, like, "Oh, well, I knew the answer, but I second guessed myself." Like we're all gonna say that because you don't want to look, bad in the situation. I'm not saying Paul did that, but I mean, normally when something happens, you usually say something like that, like, "Oh, yeah, I knew that. I second guessed myself." So we won't know because we weren't in his head. We're just going by what he said. But going into that second round, Shazam was up, and they decided to defer to final. Shazam just deferred to final exam to spin first. Final Sham first spun John Hughes, and then spun Sly and Artie. What were you guys' thoughts on them going with Sly and Artie?
Well, they had to go with Sly and Artie. That was their second spin, so they had no choice in the matter.
But what did you think when they landed on that? Did you think they were strong in that category, or because I wasn't really sure. Lon seemed a little confident. Paul looked a little unsure. In this second round, you really don't know these people's strengths until you see them. You know what I mean? Did everybody think that John Carpenter was a strength of Lon's last week? No, and then when you saw him like rip through John Carpenter like it was a hot knife through butter, you're like, oh, let's add that to the strengths list. You know what I mean? So Sly and Artie, they look pretty good in it, and most Sly and Artie films everyone knows anyway, because like they're so famous. Like it's literally so it's so weird how two actors who can't act are so famous. You know what I mean? They're action stars. They make these big box office movies, and most of those films. I watched most of those films they asked of, except Escape Plan. I don't watch that pile of.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know if these two guys right here, because Paul Yama made a name for himself in a lot of other categories. I know Lon's been around for a while, so Lon probably knows like the basic questions that may have came out in this category. But I was kind of worried for them whenever they first started it, and then they hit like the first two right off the bat, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I thought they might go perfect because they were pretty confident in their answers when the first two came out. Then I think they had to check down to like a multiple choice, and then they missed one, obviously, for one of the ones that came up. The other team got a chance to go for a steal. So, yeah, I was kind of worried when they first got it. Then they upped it, and I was like, oh, crap, they might actually run through this, how confidently they answered the first two questions, and then they started coming back down to earth. So I think this is something that they're kind of strong in, but I don't think this is something they would have put on the wheel, if you see what I'm saying. Like, I think they could probably do this category pretty well most of the time, but they're not going to put this on the wheel as a strength.
Yeah, I mean, they did do pretty well. They only missed one question, and it was a multiple choice. So they didn't even give much of a chance for a steal. Even though Shazam did steal one, but it was still a 1 point thing. So they played the game right.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, or I thought it was, because like I said, it looked like Oyama was unsure about it. So then Shazam came in. They were able to get the 1 point steal. They spin westerns. John Roca was in the chat screaming that to keep westerns. And then they spin Clint Eastwood, which is a very interesting category personally. They were able to get those first three right, and then the fourth one they go to multiple choice, missed it. And Kid even said, he goes, I think it's the Korean War. Wanted to go with Korean War, and then Bibbs would, even at the last second before Bibbs answered, Kid even said, he goes, I was gonna flip on it, but he didn't, and they got it wrong, and then they got the fifth one wrong. What were you guys' thoughts on Shazam and their second round spin?
I thought pretty much the same. I was going to say I thought pretty much the same thing I did with the first team.
Yeah.
Because in this one, Clint Eastwood's very broad. Like, I don't even understand this category, to be honest with you. Like, is it only Clint Eastwood films? Is like where he acted in them, or is it actually his directorial movies too?
No, it's directing, acting, and writing.
So like that means his category is broader than some what we consider
like
broad categories.
Like Meryl Streep.
That dude's been out there doing this thing for a long time. If you count his directing, his acting, all this stuff that he could have been involved in, that is a lot of movies. So that being said, I thought when the round was over and done with, even though they missed a couple, they actually did pretty well.
Yeah. And Final Exam did miss one of the steals, so it wasn't as bad. Like even if they stole, I think even if they stole both, they still would have been down 1 point. So they did good given the category.
No, they would have tied it.
No, because both of them were multiple choice.
Yeah,
that's 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it would have been only 23. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I did my math wrong. You know what I like? You know what I like about that second round? Hey, I'm not here to do math.
You can't give shit to one of our producers now.
Yeah,
no. Yes, I can.
You're supposed to be Ferris with true numbers with Donna.
Yeah, and you work at a grocery store and you don't know numbers? What's going on?
Come on, man. You're supposed to be taking Frankie numbers out. That's their whole deal.
I don't want to take freaking numbers anywhere. All right, you can leave me alone, okay? I don't care. No, I'm talking about back to my original point. I hate you, Justin. I hate you. I want you to know that I hate you. All right, I hate you with all my soul. I want you to know that, right?
All of it.
No, okay, well, like 30%, but that's still a lot. Still a lot. Now I liked about the when they were going back for the Korean War thing, is that the bit damn, that's messed up. All right, so yeah, with the when they were going back and forth, I like how the kid was using like real life history to answer the question. He's like, yo, man, the Hmong people, the people, the ones with HMON, and I'm like, yeah, that's Korea. Say it, and then he's like using that real life example, man, because like, so sometimes real life really helps in these situations, and Clint Eastwood. I've never met a more famous man that I've never watched any of his films. He is so damn famous. I've never watched a single one of his films, except Gran Torino. That's it.
I really feel the chat is telling you to shut up, Ferris.
You know what? I'm out. I'm out. I'm out of here, man. Forget this. All right, forget this. Okay, I'm out.
There we go.
I'm
All right,
I'm out.
cool.
I'm out.
There we go. We just kick him out.
No.
We're about to get yelled at by right now. Okay, so so it's 24-22 at the end of the round, and one thing I was curious about was why they used mostly all their JTE rules on that last question, even though they were up and
man.
They I don't know, it's kind of weird.
And then it would, because if they went up more points, then that forces final exam to answer more questions before they have to answer in round 3. And that's how I saw it. But they still went through all of their JTEs before round 3, and that wasn't the greatest decision. But hey, it worked out.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest decision. It was a little weird. I think I honestly, ring rust. They haven't played since New York.
Mm.
Or was it New York? Yeah, New York. They haven't played since New York. That was how many? That was a long time ago. Like,
I really
think about it.
I kind of picked final exam before this match because of that simple fact, and you did see it. The problem was that final exam couldn't keep it up. They didn't take advantage of the opportunities they were given. It's like they got the interception but couldn't make it 6 points to take advantage of it, and they ended up getting beat in the end. I mean, because we're going to the third round here, and it's still a close game. Like a 2-point game is still a really close game. Like if you're within a couple of points, like if you can get your 5-pointer in that third round, you're going to make the other team like have to win by getting their 5-pointer, and that's how the game goes. And a lot of times, especially with good teams or good singles competition, it's going to come down to the 5-pointer. So, I thought. But they used too many of their JTE. Like if I'm not mistaken, they went into the third round talking about Shazam. They went into the third round with no JTEs left.
Yeah, they had zero. They had zero. They used
no JTEs. They had the challenge.
No, so Meyer used the one in the first round. Then they used 2 of them on the Korean Vietnam question, and then they ran out. So let's say if they go to the fifth, let's say they'll go 5th round and third round. My bad, not 5th round. 5th round. The third round, and they needed more time. They had it. Nope, nothing. It's 15 seconds. You ain't getting the 15 seconds. Wrong. You out. They're lucky. They're lucky. Final exam missed their 5-pointer. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, thanks for ruining the third round, but yeah, let's talk about the third round now. Thanks, Ferris.
Sorry.
So they picked their numbers. Shazam picks their numbers. Final exam picks their numbers. And final exam goes to Drew Barrymore, Disney, and 90s were the 3 categories. Oyama took the 2-pointer, got it correct. Long got the 3-pointer correct. And then they went to the 5-pointer, and it was Menace to Society.
All right, let me take this, man. This is the prime example how 5-pointers are so subjective. It's crazy. Like, you can't be mad at people missing 5-pointers. Because what you think is a 5-pointer to you is completely different from other people. I knew this was Menace to Society right away. I knew. I was like, yep, Menace to Society. When they said what 90s film features characters Kane and O-Dog, when they said O-Dog, I was like, oh, it's Menace to Society. That's Lorenz Tate. Right away. Paulo Oyama didn't know what the hell it was. They were looking at each other like, what movie is this? It's subjective, right? So we can't criticize people when they miss a 5-pointer because, like, what you think is easy as heck isn't the same. Because what you think is hard is probably easy to someone else. What you think is easy is what you think is hard is easy to someone else, and what you think is easy is hard for somebody else. You know what I mean? It's subjective.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
We always come down to things. People say, "Oh, well, this was an unfair 5-pointer against this and that." Like, right? Like it came to a head in Atlanta. Now, the only thing about the Atlanta question is I felt like one competitor got way more like lead into his answer. Right? He got the year, this, and this, where another guy had to get like a character that was totally off base. Like you're probably not going to see that in the first 3 or 4 characters labeled in the movie, right? That was one thing. But in most cases, when you're talking about this, yes, it's subjective because anybody that's ever watched that movie knows that answer. But you had to watch the movie to know their like character names and stuff like that. Maybe you could read a synopsis and you just happen to know it and remember it. But in most cases, you had to watch that movie. And if you didn't, you were like, wow, you were just like looking at the screen going, you don't know. It is one of those cases where you either knew it or you didn't know it. And like Ferris said, like I think it's unfairly, like especially to the question writers a lot, is people's like, oh man, that one was easy. Well, it was easy for like you, but like maybe thousands of other people never could have got that question right. Right. And that's the thing. Like that happens all the time. People are, oh man, that one was too hard. But there was multiple people, the competitors or even fans that knew the answer. So when people do that argument and try to jump on the questions and the question writers, I don't think it's right because like you said, Ferris, this was a perfect example of if you watched this movie and you liked it, you knew the answer without even thinking about it. But if you didn't watch this movie or if this isn't one of your favorite movies, you would have never – it would have been hard. Like I actually give Paul Yama credit because obviously he didn't know it right off the bat, but he came – when he said the name of that movie, like I was like – when he said like I think it was Juice they came up with, when he says that, I'm like, oh, is he right? Like I had to question it, right? Because I'm not a big – Menace to Society fan, but when he says Juice, I'm like, wait, did he get it? And then like when they said the correct answer, then I was like, no, he didn't. But no,
yeah, definitely. And
he was in the ballpark. I know that for a fact. You know,
yeah,
like,
he was in the ballpark.
Like Juice, Menace, Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, it was really close.
Other films. Oh, Above the Rim.
Above the Rim, yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been close. So now we got Shazam versus Who's the Boss, and this is a very exciting matchup because, like Christian said, at the
before we get to that, I do want to talk about how Brendan Meyer did question himself a lot in round 3, saying like, "Let me get the 2-pointer because even if I miss it, we're still gonna be fine. We're gonna be tied." Like, he shouldn't question himself at this point because he is a really great player. Yeah. And I'm really glad he has Bibbs because he really did, like, be like, yeah, dude, you have it. Just go for it. You're as good as I am. And I'm really glad that he has, like, a really good teammate to lean on.
Yeah, and shout out to PLD that's in the chat. Appreciate you, brother, for being here. But one thing I will point out, Bidoor, that you're bringing up, After the match, Bibbs said he did not know Brendan Meyer's 3-pointer, and Brendan Meyer knew his 2-pointer because it was easy. I knew that, Jessica Alba, because I watched that movie Honey. I low-key
that was the question about it. Was about Honey.
It was about Honey. They're like, who was the star of Honey or something, but it was Jessica Alba. But Bibbs said he did not know Meyer's 3-pointer. So had Myers really convinced Bibbs to let him take the 2-pointer, Bibbs would have never known the 3-pointer and put him in the position they were at. So I totally understand what you're saying, Bidoor, about him questioning himself, and it actually not listening to himself was a good thing. It was a good thing that Bibbs talked him out of it, because that actually saved them the win.
And I kind of want to bring up something because we're fitting to transition to the other match. But before we do we have our bracket?
I don't think
the one that we made out.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing I want to point out here. this is our bracket that we came up with as a team. Like we all picked, and then we had a tiebreakers if we need to from the producer and stuff like that. And this is what we came up with. If Meyer is going to be the Meyer that we saw today, he's not making it to that game. Because when he doesn't have someone to lean on as a teammate, and he's questioning himself back and forth like he did today, at least he had Bibbs like in his corner today, right? At least he had Bibbs there to back him up just a little bit and calm him down and say, nah, kid, that's cool. See, like, look what happened. Like, you missed those questions and stuff like that. If he goes into the singles tournament with the same mindset, with the jumping around and being super nervous and then questioning himself, he has no help. He has help from his manager, but he has no help during the game. Like, you know, he can't confer with someone. He can't talk to his other teammate. Like, he's not going to make it that far. He's got the potential. It's like Bidoor said. He's already proven that he's one of the best players in the game. All he has to do is stop acting as young as he is, right? Like, he needs to, like, settle down, have confidence in himself, and keep going. And if he does, he easily can make it and go far in the tournament. I think he's on the side of a bracket in a certain quadrant to where all he's got to do is play smart, and he can make it pretty far, but he can't play like that. He can't play like he did today. Today he was able to come out with a victory, but when he comes up against another player that's like just can go at him, he can't play like that. He's going to fall apart.
Yeah, but I think I have to disagree with you there because this was his first match since New York, and he played like that in New York, and he almost beat Dan Murrell. He literally played the same way and almost beat Dan Murrell. So I think I would have to disagree with you. I agree that he won't have someone to confirm with, someone not to calm him down other than his manager. But it's his first match back in almost, 8 months, 7 months? My math might be wrong. But he has.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. And so
7 months.
Yeah, 7 months. So I think, personally, he'll be okay. And I just think he got one of his first matches out. It's very stressful because of the internet situation. And so I think he'll be fine. They'll get the internet situation fixed. And I think he'll be okay. But I do agree he needs to calm down because he was pacing everywhere. He was breathing into the mic. Yeah, not really. I
kind of agree with Cal on that one, man, because straight up, like during that three-way, like Bibbs even tried to help him out with a challenge that he did.
Yeah,
but
so like Bibbs was still there supporting him. Bibbs was still there supporting the kid, even though they technically weren't on the same team.
Yeah, he challenged the question from Meyer, but he didn't really. They couldn't really talk. They couldn't talk strategy like the way he talked. And again, we go back to this whole thing, Justin. You and me talked about it with this whole thing with hearing competitors talk and getting a chance to hear them talk about strategy. It was very interesting with Meyer and how he was talking to Bibbs on strategy and how to, and different things like that. So it was very cool to get the inside the baseball knowledge, but they couldn't do that in New York. So I mean, I get what you guys are saying, like, oh, he challenged him, but he couldn't confer with him. He couldn't tell him what he was thinking.
I don't know if Brandon Meyer. I don't know if
Sorry.
Brandon Meyer, with his energy and just craziness going on, is the perfect manager for Brandon, right? Coy being the perfect manager for Brandon, because Coy is like Brandon's energy level, almost sometimes even higher. So it's really tough for someone with a super high energy level to like try to calm someone down. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Like, it's kind of an interesting dynamic that they got because, like I said, you want to kind of calm Brendan down, but then like your manager is like almost as hyped as he is, even sometimes more. So it almost probably even counteracts Brendan and makes him even more hyped than he normally would be. Like some of the other managers, I think probably could work with him a little better, possibly. But we'll see, man. Like I said, we got him picked to go through the tournament, and he's got a chance to do it, but he's going to have to play with better confidence than he had today, or he's not going to beat people like the Barbarian or John Roca, or if he makes it far enough, like other people on the side of the bracket, like Ethan or any of those players.
Yeah, for sure. And so it was a great match. What are you guys excited about seeing Who's the Boss versus Shazam? Like, this is two powerhouse teams going at each other. Like, it's going to be super exciting because, Mark Riley, the Hall of Famer. You got Bibbs, who's probably going to be a Hall of Famer, former champ. Mark Riley was a former champ. You have Ben Bateman, who's a former champ. and then you got the kid who possibly in the future could be, a former champ. Could be a champion. What are you guys excited about?
Yeah, that one I'm God, these matches are gonna be so insane and so much fun to watch. I literally cannot pick which one is gonna be my favorite. I'm really excited for next week. I'm really excited for the week after that. It's just I cannot wait. But I do have Who's the Boss winning.
Yeah,
Boy, I was about to have to message Riley. I was about to have to message Riley because I ain't playing around right now. We know who I'm going with. We know who I think is going to win the match.
You're going with Shazam. Yeah,
no, we ain't even coming close to Shazam. It's going to be Mark, Yodi, Riley, and Ben the Boss Bateman. You got two of the people that knows the game probably more than anybody else. You got Bateman, the strategist, the dude who can sit there with his knowledge and strategy, just knock people out. You got Mark, Yodi, Riley backing him up. Let me tell you something. Ben the Boss Bateman, if you were to say A and B players on each team, I would say Ben was probably the A player on this team because of his strategy and because of the knowledge that he has and how hard he works at the game. But let me tell you something, man. Mark Yodi Riley has to be the best, like let's say 6-man or B player that you could have out there. Mark knows some stuff and he's been getting ready. Let me tell you something. I've seen some of it. The man, Mark Riley, is going to have some belts. I think personally he may have a belt on each shoulder before the year's out. I think Mark is going to make a run either this year or next year to kind of end his legacy, in his career. I think once he does it, I think he's just going to call it quits soon afterwards. He's going to do almost like a Sam Levine. He's going to go on a run. He's going to get some of the stuff he wants, and he might just leave the game. But before that happens, Mark, Yodi Riley.
You know what, Justin? I agree with you on that statement. Someone in Who's Boss will be wearing 2 belts by the end of the year. It's not Mark Riley, though. It's going to be Ben Bateman. You know what I mean? So let me tell you something. Ben Bateman is a crazy person, bro. When Ben Bateman wants something, he goes and he attacks it and he gets it. The way he studies after being at Team Action, he was deemed the B player. People like, yeah, Ben Bateman, whatever. Ben Bateman, whatever. It was Guy who was number 1 because Guy had better performances. But then Ben Bateman was like, you know what? I'm done being second fiddle. And then he made sure he was the A player. And that's what he's going to do. By the end of the year, Ben Bateman, I don't like saying it because I don't like Ben Bateman. I don't like saying it. But Ben Bateman will be holding gold on both shoulders by the end of this year.
I got to point out a couple of things real quick. We did get some subs from John. Appreciate you, John, for the subs. And
Ladies Night.
This is amazing. He went and so just said Bateman didn't get diamond level in Magic the other night. Fair's logic is false.
No. You know the reason he didn't get no. The reason he didn't get diamond level is because Suge lives in his head rent free and he overthinks things.
That's right. That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's what
Ben the Boss Bateman. Look. All the stuff I say good about Ben the Boss Bateman, I'm not ever going to say probably anything bad about him when it comes to Schmoedown. But let me tell you something. Suge threw a couple bullets. And my man Ben the Boss Bateman out there having to dodge him like he's part of the Matrix franchise over here, just no, I don't want dodging Suge like he's like just doing steps on him, man. Come on, bro, be a man, Bateman.
No, I mean,
that's one match, man. It's one match. It would take you literally 15 minutes.
Suge is John Wick, and Ben Bateman is the Russian's son. Suge is gonna hunt him down. Man, hunt him down in a club.
He's one of the Russians' friends that just got taken out. We didn't even care.
Yeah. He's that friend who got beat up in the locker room, who got his neck broke by the sink.
Yeah. You guys.
That's who Ben Bateman is.
Much. You guys are too much. Bidoor, you hear these 2 crazy guys?
I tuned out, honestly.
Wow.
Once they go at it, I just can't.
We actually were agreeing on that one. We were just both loud and enthusiastic. We were going at Ben the Boss Bateman because if you're going to be a Magic player and be the best Magic player in the Schmoedown universe space, so called it, then you don't back away from challenges. You don't back away from it. That's just all I'm saying.
Yeah. But Schmoedown, he's going to destroy Suge. Let's leave that out.
Oh, yeah. He beat my ass all day.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think Who's the Boss? Shazam's a good, but you know what though? Shazam's a really good team. And Brendan's right. They usually score in the 30s.
Are really, really good.
They usually score in the 30s, and they played horrible and they still won. You know, so damn, it's a fucking toss up. I'm gonna go with Shazam.
I mean, it's not a bad pick. It's going to come down to, just like we saw today, it's going to be a good match. It's going to come down to a 5-point answer,
Whoa.
if not overtime.
Whoa. Are you serious right now? That's her nickname?
Yeah, that is her nickname.
A new guy just posted, oh my god, Sabrina's nickname is Spicy.
I quite enjoyed that nickname. That nickname is very good. I love it.
I'm just saying right now that I think the match is going to be. I'm keeping it going, man. I'm keeping it going. Look, listen. I think the match is going to come down to like either overtime or like a 5-point question. It's going to be a super good match. I just feel like you can't ignore the fact that also the last time Who's the Boss played, which wasn't super long ago, because they were able to record a match against a very good team in the studio before the COVID thing happened. They either tied or they broke the team's record.
What?
The last time Who's the Boss?
They broke it. So yeah, so Tom and Paul tied it, and then they topped Tom and Paul and broke it with 37.
Yes, that's the kind of points you're dealing with from Who's the Boss. And even though Shazam scores like 31, 32 or something like that, you could easily see Who's the Boss score 34. I'm not going to say they're going to break the record again, but they could easily score something like 34.
I can see them getting real. I can see them getting real spicy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
bring
it
the
could be a
fizzle
spicy
and the fire. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Mark, hey man. Have y'all seen Angry Riley? Angry Riley brings the passion and the honesty and the love, man. I love Mark Riley. You know, I'm not letting this blind me. You know, if Mark Riley wasn't gonna win this match, I wouldn't say he was winning. But Who's the Boss? Hey man, with Ben Bateman and Mark Riley together, people talk about how Shazam is great as a team. Hey man, Who's the Boss as a team is always. You remember when they lost to the Shad Wolves? They lost, but they scored more over than 30. You know what I mean? Now, Who's the Boss knows in the back of their mind, 30 isn't enough. To them, 30 is never enough. We can't win with 30. We can't aim for 30. We should always aim for more than 30. And I feel like that's the mindset Ben Bateman and Mark Riley have set to themselves. More than 30. Like 30 is not enough for us anymore.
Dude, I can't wait. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of hope they win this match just because of the match we'll have after that. The Founding Fathers versus, Who's the Boss. Like, that is a match I dream of.
I think if they have that match, I think that breaks up. It breaks up the exchange.
The exchange was
they're
going to break up, but I think that match sets up a lot of
like no more 4 horsemen or 5 horsemen
no more 4
stuff.
horsemen or anything.
Yeah. Who do you guys think is gonna leave the exchange?
You really want to ask that question right now?
Bidoor, like, really trying to set me up.
Let's talk about that after we talk about the championship match. Okay.
Let's
do it.
Listen, we'll talk about that.
She has the odds of an angel.
Yeah. Bidoor she's a little evil person. We've come to understand about her. She's actually really mean. But so yeah, that was a great match. And then we get into the championship match. And first off, let's start off Nerd Chronic. Again, these promos, man. Like, Nerd Chronic just is amazing with his promos. Like, they're just freaking wonderful promos. Just amazing. What did you guys think?
He's the magic man for the reason, man. Like, none of these promos are bad. The thing is like some of them maybe because of the content that he has may be better than some of the other ones, but none of them are bad. All of them are great. Some of them are just even more great. Like, I can't even think about the last time I've seen Nerd Chronic put any kind of video together that I wasn't somewhat emotional with or somewhat entertained by. There's not, I haven't seen, and that's pretty, look, I'll say, even if he had a bad promo that he put out there, he would still be the magic man because he's freaking one out of like 100 promos he's done, right? Like, that's just amazing. Like, even great directors have bad movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, for him to be batting basically 1,000, I haven't seen a bad promo that he's put together before any of these matches, especially this year, even any of the other times, man. I really can't remember a bad one. And that's pretty amazing. That dude right there, like him, people like him David B was brought up today. Like those people right there, and like Megan Sanborn being like the event coordinator or whatever. Like those people, like that's where Christian did the best work in the Schmoedown to me, because he got some of the best people that you could find to be involved in this thing and be as a team. Like,
talent acquisition.
Oh yes, amazing. Couldn't get better people.
Harloff's very good at assessing and finding talent. You know what I mean? Because he also found Ace, RB3, you know, Goddard. You know, he's very good at finding these people. You know, Dwayne, Nerd Chronic,
Megan.
You
know, yeah.
Harloff's yeah, man. Harloff is really good.
Has a. I mean, even look at Brett, Kate Mulligan. You know, even just Bonnie. Bonnie's been very entertaining.
Bonnie, Winston.
Oh yeah, Winston big time. Yeah, so Harloff has an eye, man. You gotta give a shout out to him. So
Roxy.
Roxy. Yeah, we can go on forever. But this match, like it's a trilogy, and you go back and you look at the history. You know, Erwin was one of the only two people that's ever TKO'd Dan Murrell, which is nuts. Okay. Then he plays Dan Murrell, and Dan Murrell has to play a perfect game to beat him. So now you're going into this game, and you're just like, you know, what is this going to be? Is it going to live up to the expectation? People were saying, I just hope it's not a knockout. Let me tell you, this match lived up to the expectation, and I guarantee you Harloff forgot all about those internet problems during this match. You know, the promo was fire. You know, the respect factor, and that's what I loved about this more than anything. And, you know, when we interviewed Ken the other day, he even talked about it. He goes, you can always come and talk crap about your opponent, but you don't want to do that, because if you talk crap about them, you don't build them up. And so when you beat them, what did you beat? You beat a pile of crap instead of building somebody up. Dan Murrell and Ethan Erwin built each other up and showed so much respect for each other that you didn't want either one to lose, but you wanted each one to beat each other. And this match lived up to the hype, and I loved it. And so, you know, going to this match, what was your feeling, Bidoor? What were you feeling about this match?
In round one, I was rooting for Dan, so when he missed 2 questions, I was really, really worried. But then, good thing Ethan missed a question, I guess. Like, not good thing, but I want it to be a close game, and it definitely was. Sorry, my dog is just nail staring me. But yeah, it was. Honestly,
Cody?
could not. Yeah, that is good.
Oh, look at Cody.
I could not ask for a better title match, honestly.
Yeah,
and one thing, that Gucci outfit.
What was he wearing? Count Gucci?
No, dude, he went to some swap meet in Ventura and saw a Count Chocula costume and took the jacket.
Count Chocula.
You know what I mean?
Man,
that man does not care, and that's why we all love him. He just does not give a damn. And he kind of looks good in there.
It was Count Gucci, man.
He looks good in there.
Like,
no. It's the Count of Gucci Cristo.
That's what he said.
Count of Gucci Cristo.
Yeah. Justin, what was your thoughts in this round one, man? Because you know, I know you're a big Dan Murrell fan. You're an Exchange guy. But Ethan Erwin, there's a comment in the section right now, we'll get to it, where Travis said, you know, he has blatant weaknesses, and he's still a monster. He's still a bad
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I do want to point out that the matches that we have picked in the past, we're not perfect on. Nobody is. We have missed a couple here and there. But I want to point out that us leading into this tournament, before we did the bracket for the singles tournament, that we picked all these matches leading up to here, and we actually got every single one of them right. So our bracket is exactly like the bracket that will be played in the singles tournament. So I'm pretty proud of us there. I'm going to say that, because we had Dan Murrell keeping the belt and everything else. And we had Sabrina in the tournament. So when that all is being said, Dan Murrell and Ethan, I knew it was going to be one of those things to where it was just going to be back and forth. I mean, you really thought that these two guys could pull the Star Wars match where we saw two people go perfect into overtime and still kept going for a little while until finally someone messes up. You could have easily saw that, but that's the thing about singles teams. The categories are so broad and so vast that like there's no way you can know everything. So sometimes it's just not going to happen like that. You're not going to have very many perfect games. And it really kind of went the way I thought, but I thought it would be the opposite way. I thought that like coming out of that first round, I thought it'd be like a little bit different than what we actually got. Because if I'm not mistaken, Dan Murrell missed 2, Ethan Erwin missed 1, and Ethan Erwin had the point lead. I thought Dan Murrell would be coming out of the first round with a 1 or 2 point lead coming out of it.
Yeah, Ethan is he missed the anime question, and Coco Bird right here saying Ethan Erwin is a Ben Simmons, so talented, so effective, despite the fact he has a major flaw in his game. I like that analogy because Ben Simmons for the 76ers has no jump shot or shoot threes. I think it's jump shot, shoot threes. I don't remember.
No jump shot, period.
Yeah, and
man got no
totally
jump shot, period.
Totally agree with you, Coco. But yeah, he has a weakness, and we know about it, but he's still a monster. And he had a chance to get, and Mark brought it up, had he got that question right, he got the extra question and would have been going into the second round up a little bit more, but he wasn't able to get it, and so he goes into round 2, and he says, I'm going to spin first, and he spins first, and he spins movie release dates.
Movie released. I'm sorry. Scott
and then he spins Spike Lee. And I personally got a little worried because I was like, does he know Spike Lee? So I was unsure about it. What were your thoughts, Ferris, when he spun Spike Lee?
Same thing, man. You don't really know what they know until they spun the category. So I just came in like, okay, let's see. You know what I mean? So, but he got the first 2 correct right off the bat. So I was like, oh, this could be a strength. It could be a strength, right? And then he missed the next 2. And then I'm like, so it's probably one of those. He probably knows the Spike Lee movies because he's in the industry, and he's probably worked with Spike. Maybe, we don't know. He's big time. He's probably worked with Spike Lee once or twice. I don't know if Spike Lee's worked with Silver Pictures, maybe. So that's just probably just like a raw knowledge of just Spike Lee, period, in the industry, because he ended up getting the other 2 wrong completely. So it's not really a category of strength, but it's not a category of weakness either. It's just one of those categories that it's just use of raw knowledge helped him out in.
Yeah,
so it is what it is.
I did see on the question he missed about Spike Lee's directorial debut that people were arguing that it was an incorrect answer. I'm not really sure. People were saying...
Yeah, I saw some challenges.
Oh, here, yeah. Actually, right here, somebody just brought it up. Winter Soldier 2814, our boy Travis said, the MC question 3 did Ethan dirty. It had Spike's first film, but the question asked for the first feature length. Super tough MC choice. Yeah. A lot of people were saying that in the chat. I wouldn't know. I just go with what they were saying, but a lot of people.
Yeah, but I think Ben Goddard said this: multiple choice is not supposed to give you the answer; it's supposed to narrow it down. If like the 2 answers could be the answer, that's the point of multiple choice, to make you question it.
Yeah, I think we've seen like a multiple choice where they give you like I'm blanking on the question, but they gave like the correct answer and an answer that was really close to it, or you would have thought that was the correct answer. And Ferris has commented and said, "Oh yeah, you would have thought that's the answer, but the answer is this." So I'm okay with it. But I know people were arguing, saying that the movie he said was Spike Lee's first movie, and then the one that's correct answer was like the feature, that was distributed out in theaters or whatever like that. So, I mean, he could have challenged it. A lot of people say he should have challenged it.
Yeah. Okay. I see what Travis said now.
Okay. So, Winter Soldier says the film Ethan said was Spike Lee's 60-minute long masterpiece. It wasn't his first feature-length film. Okay. So, You know.
You should have challenged though.
Man, for him to know that,
what's a feature length film?
Knowledge. Right, but what you got to have is crazy knowledge to even know what his hour-long thesis is. Like, that's just ridiculous. Because he knew the name of that.
You mean like his college thesis?
I would guess, like film coming out of film school or something that he released.
Oh man, that don't count.
I mean,
If it was
released in theaters.
Was it released in theaters? Do we know that for a fact?
Do I look like Ethan Erwin to you? I don't know.
It had to be for it to be one of the answers. It had to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's that. Wow, Ethan knowing that. Damn.
That's crazy. It's like the knowledge that he has. I can possibly, sometimes he may know too much knowledge. That's a case in point to where he knew something most people wouldn't, and that made him like pick a wrong answer possibly because he knew what his damn thesis was, like his hour-long video he made.
Wow.
Okay, so if feature-length film must be more than 40 minutes, then the answer should be correct since it was a 60-minute one.
Yeah, but then the new guy, Kamir, says, according to SAG, is 75 minutes plus. So
yeah, that's one of those iffy things. It's one of those.
That's an hour.
I would have put it closer to more than an hour than 40 minutes. That's why I was shocked.
Yeah, so I mean that's, but like JDM32 says, PJ does his research, and let's be honest, PJ is a great writer. So yes. I'm not gonna question him.
I mean, a great writer, better human being.
That
love me.
True.
I love me Percival Joaquin Campbell. I love me some Percival Joaquin Campbell. Amazing guy.
We just got.
You guys have noticed that the Schmoedown fans have been going after the writers a lot.
Unfairly.
Like it's like legit every single match this year. Like someone has something to say, like to prove a point to one of the writers. Like, are they trying to get their attention or something? Because if you knew how many people were in the writers' room just sitting in a Zoom call, probably just typing in, making sure, double checking, and everything.
You know what I say to those people?
Right.
You know what I say to those people, Bidoor? You do it. Do it. Go do it.
The thing is,
you got so much chatter on the internet, so much chatter in the Facebook group talking about like, oh, PJ this, PJ that. Go ask PJ to be like, hey, let me write for you. Go do it.
Real quick, Justin, let me read out this Streamlabs. Much love to all and the channel. I know you all are unbiased to the fun dip exchange, but here's some facts for the argument. Point averages: Shazam 31.8, Who's the Boss 28.4. Props to Suge for making the right pick. Hashtag cork your much. Hashtag climb that ladder.
You know what, Tavishka? You brought numbers and facts. I respect you. All right, I respect that. So I'm not gonna say anything because I respect that.
I have something to say to that. It doesn't matter, like, you root for who you root for, but when we're gonna say like, oh, like Who's the Boss and Shazam, they're both equal. Like, I'm not gonna put one above the other. Who I'm rooting for is a totally completely different story. Yeah, and I'm gonna root for Who's the
I agree
Boss.
with that. And the thing about it is, though, is like you also going to be looking at the more recent things that Who's the Boss did. They have a high percentage, even though like they had some games that wasn't like they were still trying to learn to play together and stuff like that. I know that's the same thing technically with Shazam, but with that being said, like Who's the Boss just broke the points record. Like they just did that. Like it's not like they did that 3 games ago. They just did that. So like when we were and the game before that, like you said, like the one they even lost on, they scored over 30 points even in a loss. So like they have been scoring higher numbers than and Shazam's up there too. Like look, this, like I said, it's going to be a very close match. But I just see it going in other ways. But let's get back to this round 1 right here because you got Dan Murrell's side of it. So we know that Dan
we're in round 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know we had talked about
someone's not paying attention.
So yeah, because Dan Murrell, then it's Dan Murrell's time to spend. He spends courtroom and legal drama.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. I meant round 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I found out. Sure I found that was PJ's new favorite category because he loved writing about those movies. But unfortunately, Dan didn't stick with it, so we couldn't see the questions. because this is one of the new categories. This is one of the new categories they've written. So we couldn't see them, but then he ended up getting science fiction, sci-fi, you know. And, you know, he did good, you know. He got the first question right off the bat. He got the I think the second one was about the fifth, like about which aliens appear in which movie, the moon shakers or moon chakras or moon something. The moon
some kind of weird name. I didn't know this one.
Yeah. So but it was a fifth element, so he got it off of the multiple choice. And then Ethan took back the steal with question 3. He took back the steal that the Dan did, and then Dan got the fourth question right. Like, of course he did, because it's Dan Murrell.
I'm gonna tell you something weird. When I see Dan Murrell spin away from anything, I'm like, what? Because I automatically assume he knows everything. So like when he spun away, like he actually did 2 spins here too. When he spun away from like crime thriller, I'm like, what? Dan Murrell isn't comfortable with crime thrillers, like, because I'm expecting him to pretty much know it all. So it is kind of weird when you see him spin again, and then he got sci-fi, and he's one of those casts where he is studying inner geekdom, which this could actually help out because a lot of sci-fi movies fall into inner geekdom in a lot of cases. So, like, I think he probably felt comfortable going in there, but he had a couple of stumbles, which kept Ethan in the match, right? Because like Ethan didn't have a perfect round 2. He comes in, he doesn't have a perfect one, and like Farrah said, you have basically a double steal. He steals one from Ethan. Ethan steals one back from him.
Yeah, it gets negated.
Pretty much on even ground at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, but Ethan was ahead of him in round 1, but they come out tied in round 2.
True.
Yeah. And so we go into round 3, and I think this is where the game was lost and won, for me personally. Because, well, first off, Top Gun got the shirt on. The question was about Top Gun. It was spun for movie release dates.
Movie release dates? Sorry.
Stop doing that.
No, sorry.
Stop.
No, thanks, Keep. I love it.
And I think this is where Ethan lost the match, personally. Because I don't know why you would go for 1 point. That just doesn't even make any sense. You're the challenger. You're trying to beat the champion. You either go for 2 or 3. 1 makes no sense. If you're the champion, going for 0 or 1 makes sense because you're trying to be safe. But going for you're the challenger, you go either 2 or 3. And for that, he went 1 because if he goes for 2, he wins the title. He wins the title. That's just the bottom line.
They'd be tied.
No, he'd be up 1. They win it.
No, yeah, because they were tied going into
they were going tied into round 5, and if he's up 1, he wins the title.
Yeah, technically right, but like here goes the thing.
But he would have to bet 3. So you're saying he should have bet 3?
He should have bet 2. He should have bet 2, and they both go into round 5 tied, and then he got 10 out of 10 in round 4, and then Murrell gets 9 out of 9. He goes up 1.
Okay, let's go. Okay.
He would have been up 1.
Yeah.
So, but
this is where he lost the match. In my opinion, this is where he lost the match because he should have bet 2 or 3.
But he wasn't confident with movie release.
Yeah, I agree with Bidoor here because like it just so happened to be a movie that you knew.
Yeah,
if you would have bet 2 and it would have been something worse, he would have lost the match. So like,
he would have lost it. But the perspective is, and I'll talk to it like a UFC fight. You don't leave it in the judge's hands. You got to take it. You don't play safe. You have to, if you're going to win the championship, you have to. Unless let's just say he was up by like 7 points at that point. Then yes, betting 1 point makes sense. But you're tied, or you're up down by 1. They're tied going into that round. He has to bet 2 or 3. 1 makes no sense. 1 does, because what happens if Murrell would have bet 3 and gets it right, and you bet 1? Now Murrell's up 2 on you. I think that's where he lost it.
I mean, you can look back on it and say what you're saying, but at the same time, it could have easily went wrong. It could have easily went bad. If you're not comfortable in movie release dates, I agree with you.
But we don't know if we're comfortable.
He loses if he bets 3. He loses if he bets 2.
He did spin it in round 2 and moved away from it. So it's clear that he's not very comfortable with movie release dates.
There's only 2 people in this space that are very good at movie release dates. And that's that guy who wears that action brand. You know, that one dude, you know, that we don't talk about. Yeah, that guy. Forget that guy. Then there's Scott Mantz. You know, when am I getting my movie release day exhibition match out? I need that. I need that now. But that's not the point. You know, so like not everyone here knows movie release day.
Wait, is it not out?
No, not yet. Not yet. Justin, what your favorite film was Seven, right?
Yep.
What year was it released? Thank you.
97.
Thank you. Right, you just proved my point.
97. I'm
I
actually
don't
gonna look that
know.
up.
I don't know. Yeah, no, dude, that's the point.
Movie.
Right there. See, Justin's favorite movie is Seven. He didn't know. Bidoor, what's your your Star Wars favorite film? Let's not talk about that. You know it's 1977. I'm sorry.
No, I get what you guys are saying. I get what you're saying.
When was
to
it?
Me,
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
I think to me I just think
you wanted him to be aggressive. You wanted him to be aggressive.
Yeah, I wanted him to be aggressive, and I think he doesn't have to bet 3, but if he bets 2 there, he's going into round 5 up a point, so he gets to choose first, and if they all answer, and then he wins the match. He wins the match. I mean, I get what people are saying. People are saying, well, you playing small ball and all this stuff. I just think you got to take it from the champ. In every sport, you have to take it from them. And if you play safe, this can bite you. That's all I'm saying.
I went and looked it up because it is literally my favorite movie, because I don't count Star Wars as movies because I just count it as a whole franchise, and so I like other movies. But I said 97. I was close, but it's 95. Came out in 95 by David Fincher. So, yeah, I mean, that's the point, right? Most people don't even know when their favorite movies sometimes come out. So, unless it was like their new favorite movie that they just watched a couple of years ago.
You know, Fast Five came out in 2012. That's all I got to say.
I mean, I know when my favorite movie came out.
So, all right, so we go
You
into
guys
movie
think
release date.
Star Wars is my favorite movie, but it's not.
What is your favorite movie?
What is your favorite movie?
Amadeus.
What?
that very...
Amadeus.
Ain't that movie like 3.5 hours?
Mm-hmm.
The movie about Mozart. Not Mozart. Yeah, the movie about Mozart and the homie who's mad at Mozart for stealing all of his stuff, but he didn't really steal all the stuff. He just stole all the swag and vibe of it. Amadeus. You love Amadeus? Amadeus.
Yeah, what's wrong with that movie?
I mean, I like the movie, but
wow.
Real quick, Coca Bird 01. Murrell played it safe in Atlanta, and that was the right move. Suge was Dan not making the right move because he had to take it from the champ. Here's the difference. That speed round, we all know Dan Murrell has a problem with that speed round. So he had to play it safe. Okay? We all know that. And it was even mentioned because Mark Ellis says, "Oh, Dan, you've done so great in the speed round with the buzzer."
That's his one weakness.
He's like, "No, I haven't." So that is different in this matchup to that matchup because he knows he's going into a round where he's not strong, and Bateman is stronger. So he knows that he has to play it safe there. In this new format, Ethan didn't have to play it safe because Ethan even said, I don't have to worry about someone answering quicker than me. I just have to answer myself. So I think those are totally complete situations. But like I said, I understand.
I don't think they're totally complete situations, but I see your logic behind what you're trying to say. But at the same time, like, you don't know, like, this new kind of speed round, they both haven't been involved in it. So, like, you really don't know if that would have been a weakness or a strength either. So it's not like they know that this is going to be a strength. Yeah, they could feel more comfortable in it because it's just them answering questions, and they feel good because they got a lot of knowledge. But you haven't played it yet, so you don't know how good you would be.
Haven't played it yet. But you know, traditionally, it's Murrell's weakness. Murrell has literally, that's his weak spot in a fight.
No, I mean, I know what you're saying about the buzzer, but I'm saying, like, with this new speed round, you're saying, what I'm saying is like, you look at it towards, Ethan's point of view is like, you don't know, man. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're not comfortable in it, he spun away from movie release days. Like, why take? Because at least if you're down, even if he got down 1 or 2 points, yes, eventually, because we know what happens eventually. We know that he would have lost the game if he would have done that. If he would have like lost those points or whatever. But like, if you do what he did and only lost the 1 point, you're still in the game at least. Like, at least going through the match, you're still in the game. Yeah, we can go hindsight's 2020 because we know what happened in this match in the end. But he doesn't know that at that point. And if you bet 3, he loses the game. If he bets 2, he loses the game. He bet 1, he got it right. And we'll find out like what happened because we're going to go on through here. But I'm just saying, like, you don't have that knowledge like we have that knowledge watching the game.
I get that you don't have that knowledge, but I think no matter what, you have to do something because of how good Dan Murrell is. You have to do something. That's just how I see it. You have to do something to either get yourself an edge and Coco Bird's right. In Atlanta, they were tough questions. These ones in today was an easy question. So you're right.
But you don't know that's an easy question though. They could have asked what the date of a random movie was that you can't even remember watching. Like it just happened to be an easier one or a more popular one.
I thought the answer was 85.
I said 87. I was off by a year.
See,
but
yeah. See,
at the end of the day,
1 year.
At the end of the day, that is what they Dan bet 2 points and Ethan bet 1, and Dan goes into the 5th round leading 14-13. And so
he goes into the 4th round, yeah.
Yeah, he goes into the 4th round. So we go into the 4th round, 14-13. And then Dan, obviously being in the league, gets to choose, and he defers to Ethan. And Ethan goes 10 for 10. Even has, I think, a couple seconds to answer.
Yeah, like 5 to 10 seconds left of some extra time.
So that was really good. That was a really good.
I think
another impressive thing from Ethan, dude. Like Ethan went through there every one of his answers, even though I personally didn't know the answer to some of these questions because of the way he answered. I knew it was right. Like no questions, I knew it was right, and he went from everything. He even did the movie release dates answer on here, which we're about to talk about Dan's side of this. When he goes through the same speed round, Dan kind of shied away from that one. Didn't even answer it. That's why he didn't. That's why he lost a point in this round, is because he didn't even want to try to attempt the movie release dates answer.
Yeah, but Ethan got that right. So I don't know. You guys are saying, well, he spun away, but he got it right. He went 10 for 10, and Murrell missed that one. So it's all subjective. We keep saying that it's all subjective.
Yeah, no, it's certain films. It's that's what film is. People forget about it. That's what film is. It's all subjective, bro. Like I go back to the Menace to Society question in the final exam, Shazam match. If you didn't grow up watching, this is what the category they put, like hood movies. You're not gonna know the film. You're not.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna happen.
And you guys says Dan ran out of time going back to.
No, he didn't. He waited. He waited. And
he had a couple of seconds after it was asked again, and he didn't give it a shot. He just time ran out. Like,
he just sat there.
If he would have tried to answer it and missed it, actually.
Yeah, that's another bad thing, right? So
he loses the point.
This is what this is all crazy and stuff, and what makes this stuff really super good is the simple fact that this match is one of my favorite matches of the year because it was so these little bitty minute details that cost you the match, right? Or could have won you the match. And all this during this entire game, because they both played super solid. It was a super clean game. No challenges, none of this riffraff going on. Everything was good. Totally opposite game from the first one as far as internet issues and everything else happening and all this craziness. It was a super clean, super fun match that you want a heavyweight style match to be, and that's what this is. It was like the heavyweight boxing championship of the world. They came in, they both played super good, and the thing about it is like I said, these little small things. It's like in football, your running back runs for a 90-yard touchdown, but one guy had a hold of somebody and they call a holding play. Amen. And they lose the game because of a little thing, of a little tug of a jersey. They lose the game, and that's what happened in this match. There was these little bitty moments of things that it could have cost any one of them the match.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead, Ferris.
You know what I like into these 3 matches? This is the Ali Frazier trilogy. The first fight, Frazier knocks out Ali. Ethan Erwin TKOs Dan Murrell. Second fight, Ali plays it perfectly in strategy. Beats Joe Frazier. Dan Murrell wins perfect against against Ethan Erwin. Third, the final fight. They beat the living life out of each other. Forget technique, forget strategy. They just beat each other up. And Ali stood up at the end of that round, and that's how Ali won the fight. Same with Dan Murrell. Dan Murrell stood up right before the ref called the fight. Ali didn't beat Frazier. He just stood up before Frazier. Same thing with this fight. Murrell just got up before the ref called time in the corners. That's what it was.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, you know what? That is a great analogy, Ferris. I actually like that analogy. I'm a big Ali fan, and that's a great. You're right. The trilogy. You had the undefeated.
Frazier knocks him out. Yep.
Yeah.
They're both undefeated. They both meet. Frazier knocks Ali out. People say Frazier's done. But they were saying Murrell was done. Second fight, Murrell comes back. Ali comes back. He shows you why he's the greatest. Third fight, Frazier comes back and they beat the living life of each other in the Philippines. They beat each other almost after death. Ali doesn't beat Joe Frazier. Ali just stands up a minute before the ref calls time. And when you don't come up when the ref calls time, the ref calls the fight. Ali just stood up slightly before the ref called time. And Frazier didn't stand up. Erwin didn't stand up.
I need someone to kick JDM 3232 out of the chat. Dan is the Michael Jordan of the Schmoedown. Sorry, Suge. We don't talk that name. We don't talk about MJ around here. We don't do that. No, I'm just playing.
Why?
No, I hate Michael Jordan. Hate him.
Even though he owns one of his jerseys.
So guys,
Yeah, I own
it's
his
really
jersey.
nice being on your podcast.
Oh, get out of here! Get out of here with that.
Hey man, if you're gonna lead it, it's alright. We cool.
But so yeah, I mean, Bidoor actually came back like right when we were finishing up talking about that round 4. Like, did you have any points to make on round 4?
No.
Or do you just want to regurgitate what we already said?
I just hope it's not about what you guys were talking about before.
Hey man, we kept the PG. We kept the PG.
We've been good so far.
Good. Now more stuff.
So we go into round 5, and Dan chooses his numbers, and we're going into round 5, 23-23. Like, this is the match we wanted. Like Justin said, it's a heavyweight fight. We are, we're excited about it, and we're just like, look, they're gonna go back and forth. So Dan chooses numbers, Ethan chooses his numbers, and for Dan, first question out the box, movie release
date.
No, first it was
Ethan Erwin.
Ethan.
Yeah, your first one was Ethan, which was a Tom Hanks question.
Yeah.
And then for Dan is movie release dates.
Sorry.
But it's a 2-pointer, so it's not going to be hard. It's going to be one of
it's
those
not
famous.
It's not going to be hard. Then we go to back to Ethan, and his report is the 90s.
1990s.
Not 1860s.
You gotta be specific because we do have some crybabies who will challenge.
Wow.
All right, so the third there.
Wow. So then Dan gets his 3-pointer, which is romantic comedies. He answers it correctly. Then Ethan Erwin, the Oscar question is actually pretty hard. I know our producer was in the chat or when we were watching it, and he's screaming one of the answers, which I cannot repeat because I don't even know what he was saying, but he was screaming it. Colin, what was the answer you were screaming? Type it in.
We'll get in a bit. We'll get in a bit.
Yeah.
So he didn't know it. He just
Wait,
didn't know it.
I just want to say something. Let me bring this up.
Oh, here we go.
Taking shots at Outlaw Nation. Yeah, he came at me first, so it's fair game.
Yep. And It was the one that started with an S. The answer that started with an S is the one that Colin knew. I know that for a fact. But the thing of it is like, I wanted to point out this question specifically. When he gets to category Oscars, I saw the look of defeat in Dan Murrell's eyes. Dan Murrell thought he lost the match here, possibly, because he thinks Ethan Erwin probably knows all the Oscar questions, right? Yeah. So when he got Oscars as a 5-pointer, he was like, oh, man, like, and guess what? If this would have been an Oscar question that Ethan knew, then hindsight again, he wins. And Dan Murrell was like, like you kind of saw, he kind of looked down and was like, kind of smiled and was like looking away from the camera for a second while he was smiling. And I was like, oh, shoot, like, because Ethan is a guy that knows most of these questions.
Yeah, for sure. And he didn't get it right. And so then we go to Dan, and he could win it. But his question, which was Brad Pitt. Which, wow, okay. Yeah, he does it. He repeats. He gets uses repeat, and it's a river run through. I think what was the actual question?
I have no idea, man.
Suge can't hear you.
No. Sorry, I was talking to my son. Who played the dad in River Runs Through It? Okay, got you. I don't know. I've never even seen the damn movie.
Hey man, I forget that Brad Pitt has acted more than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Fight Club and Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, and I think even Dan Murrell's guess was Robert Redford. Tavishka Production says my guess was Robert Redford too. Yeah, and Dan Murrell's was too, and they both got it wrong. I mean, he got it wrong. So then we go into
sudden death.
Overtime. We go into overtime.
It's more sudden death.
Yeah, sudden death. Were you guys excited about this going into sudden death?
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, why wouldn't you not be excited? This is what we came in looking for, man. And it's like we've been getting great matches after great matches, especially like in the big matches, right? Like in the Star Wars tournament, IG tournament. Like a lot of these matches were super great and super good. And look, man, these are some of the best. Like this year with the COVID thing and us having to do digital and all that stuff, I'm going to say one thing. We've gotten some of the best matches of all time in this year alone. Like some of these great matches where people were colliding. Like you got Dan just had an overtime match in Atlanta before the COVID thing, and now you got this match going up, the first title defense since Atlanta, and you have another overtime match. That's how close these guys are coming. Like they're becoming better and better competitors. You had the Dan Murrells of the world, and Ethan, you'd put him up there and stuff. But then you had some of these players that may have been a notch or two below them that are now stepping up and getting even better themselves and earning rights up there. I mean, when you look at this, Ben Bateman did just as well as Ethan Erwin. And in some cases, right, like they swung back and forth, got into overtime. The thing is, Dangerous Dan Murrell, that's why he's got the name Dangerous, man, because like he is dangerous because of all the stuff he knows, how like organized he is. He has all these things, and Ethan knows a lot of stuff. Now, one of the most amazing things in this was you get to the point to where they both get like their first two questions correct, but then like that third one, they both miss it. That's kind of crazy, man. That was the second one that they both missed.
Yeah, so they got the first one right, then they missed the second one.
Yeah,
and they got the third one and the fourth one.
Both of them missing. Like I figured one of them would get it correct, right? And when they showed different answers or whatnot, and I was like, whoa, okay, man, we might be here for a long time because that was the moment that someone could have took advantage. It's another one of those really small moments in the game to where it lost or won someone, the belt today. And that's something super great, man. And it comes down to something so small.
I think I was more excited at the fact that they asked a Bloodsport question. I got pumped for that because I love Bloodsport. But yeah, they missed their second question.
Kumite!
And they get to the fifth question, and Dan is able to answer right because apparently that's his and Mara's
that's their song, man. That's so. That adds another layer. That adds another level of awesomeness to that answer. To be honest, it's so heartwarming and like I'm not gonna. I usually don't say this because that's gonna sound weird. Their goals, like I want a woman to treat me like Mara treats Dan Murrell, and I want to be a man that Dan Murrell is to Mara. That's what I want. You know what I mean? I want that.
Qui-Gon
Well-
Jake, Bloodsport. Shout out to Certain Point of View. Make sure, I think
Hey.
they do their show Sunday, if I'm correct.
Yes,
make
Sunday,
you guys-
6:30.
Sunday. So, yeah, 6:30. So make sure to
YouTube.
go check them out. They are awesome. We love them to death. Thank you, Jake, for being here. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, Jake's all right.
No, Jake's awesome.
Can
Why
we
you do that,
say?
Ferris?
Can I just say though how crazy it is that he's had 2 overtime matches this year, and both of his questions came because of life experience stuff.
Yeah.
Like he knew this
Yeah.
answer because it's their song, him and Mara's song, but he also knew the answer in Atlanta because he worked at a Blockbuster and remembered the poster. Like that's pretty crazy that this man's had 2 overtime games, and in both of them he won because it happened to be questions that he was involved in some way or another throughout his life. Like without
What?
really watching the movie.
Justin, silence, please. Jake, that's a false lie. I love them. They are my close personal friends, to be honest, man. You know, we talk all the time about Schmoedown. I love the Damons. You hear me? Don't be spewing that propaganda. Liar.
And Winter Soldier just gifted a sub to Jake. Thank you, Winter Soldier. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Love you, man.
I love the
You're
Damons.
awesome. But Jake is awesome too. Dude's awesome. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that life experiences won him his 2 matchups. So that is actually kind of a thing. And look,
just like what the kid was trying to do in the second round with the Korean and the Vietnamese, because he was trying to use real life examples of the Hmong people. You know what? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave a dislike on that video, Jake. That's what I'm gonna dislike it.
Qui-Gon Jake saying, "Man, I'm gonna have to tell them tomorrow." Shaking my head. Yeah, Jake, rat him out.
Rat me out. Don't do that to me, Jake.
I think when we look back at this matchup, I think you gotta just give both Dan Murrell and Ethan Erwin props, because look, they it wasn't a perfect match as far as just the answering questions or whatever, but it was a great match. They just both played so good and were so invested, and then when they after the match, they're so complimentary of each other. Murrell saying, look, shout out to Ethan and Sam. They played a great game, and Ethan doing the same thing. And this is what we want to see in the Schmoedown. We want to see, and like I said, I brought it up before. Ken talking about when we interviewed him, and if you want to see that interview, it's going to be coming out Saturday. He says you don't always have to come out and talk crap about your competitor, your opponent. You want to build them up, so when you do beat them, you guys are built up, and it makes it better. And that's what we saw here with Ethan Erwin and Dan Murrell, is that they built each other up, didn't talk crap about each other. They respected each other. On all the shows they went on, they respected each other. And then they've come out and deliver in a great matchup. You walk away and you say, damn, Dan Murrell's a GOAT. Ethan Erwin's a great player. You respect it. And let me ask you guys, would you be excited to see a 4th match between them? What happens if Erwin runs through the single tournament and plays them again? We're gonna be excited about it, But let's let me get your guys' overall thoughts going from that 5th round and going into the with Dan winning. Oh, and I'll start with Justin. Like I said, I know your exchange. When Christian says and the winner and pointed out, they both had 2 different answers. So when Christian says and your winner, what were you thinking?
I actually knew the answer to that because I actually love that movie, to be honest with you. So I actually knew the answer to that. I knew
Was it 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yes. And I like that movie actually and watched it a few times. So I actually knew the answer. So I knew Dan had it right. But in this match, I wasn't rooting for one of the other, overly big time, right? I wasn't oh man, I love this guy so much more than this guy. And to be honest with you, it was really refreshing to have a match with these 2 guys respecting each other, not really going at each other's throats, because we've had those matches here recently where that's all it's been, whether it was the Bonnie match whenever her and Shannon was going at it, but there's always been some beef between some people and them talking a lot of trash. And it wasn't like these 2 guys didn't come in and didn't talk any trash at all. It's like what you said, exactly what Ken said in the interview was, you could still say your stuff, but still at the same time kind of build up your opponent to make yourself look better. If you make it to where you're beating someone that's super crappy and not any good. Like now, whenever you win, it's like, well, I mean, he was supposed to win. It's not a big deal. When you saw these two guys get in there and go at each other like that, like it could have went either way. Super great match. And like I said, it was just refreshing to have those two guys that just came in, like the game, know a lot about the game. They both played really well and both played really good games today. And it was just really interesting to see that because we have had all the Brandon Hannas of the world, the Chandrus of the world here recently. And so, like I said, it was kind of like, oh, yeah, breath of fresh air to see. And even the managers didn't go at each other today. Even the managers were like, oh, man, like, you know, they were cool with each other. Like Gucci and Sam didn't actually go at each other as much as they normally would, right? Like they just kind of played around and stuff like that, and both gave their opponents respect and everything like that. So like it was pretty refreshing, like I said.
And what about you, Bidoor?
Yeah, I love this match. I'd love to see another one between them. I personally, I do have Bibbs winning the singles tournament, so I'd love to see Bibbs with the belt. Or at least like try to go for it because I really want to see Murrell and Bibbs. But yeah, this honestly, like me and David B were just DMing each other throughout the entire match, and most of it was like, oh my god, my heart is racing, oh my god, my heart is racing. So this match was like so much fun, and seriously, you could not have asked for better two matches back to back.
And then once again, John, thank you for the
shout to family, John Lestreen, if your family, I love you, dog. Shout to Fast Fam right there.
Gift us up to Rainer, AJGM04, and
that's my
Heart
friend.
Pirate. So appreciate it. Thank you for the gift of subs. Ferris, what were your thoughts after this epic battle in that round 5?
I was emotional, dude. I was watching the thing. I was watching the match while I was working at the same time. I was also being the cashier at the same time. So I was hopping back and forth. I was like this. You know what I mean? I was emotionally drained, bro. I have finally realized I don't have the emotional capacity to do this. Cause I almost yelled in my customer's face when Ethan Erwin missed that. But I couldn't, because they'll be like, what's this weirdo yelling about? And then explain to them, oh yeah, I'm watching a movie trivia pay-per-view match. You know how many weird stares I get? You know what I mean? People don't understand why I love this. But I'm like, just watch it. You'll understand, just watch it.
What if they were a Schmoedown fan? You never know, and then you'd have a new friend.
You're right.
Very true, Ferris.
You're right. Hey man, but I posted, are there any Bay Area MTS fans? And no one responded. So I'm pretty sure there's no I posted that in the I guess I'm the only one, you know.
No, isn't Jugger?
Jugger's in a place we don't talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, Ferris. Wow.
That city don't count.
So
yeah, man, I was, dude, literally like when the match ended, I literally was like, holy, I lost. I have no words. And I rarely not have words. I've lost it. Jake's right. Ferris, you're losing it, man. I am. I've lost my mind. Next week's gonna be wild for me. You know why? Because it's gonna be corruption against founding fathers. Then you have Who's the Boss and Shazam all on the same card. Corruption was the first team the second team I ever rooted for because of Ken Knapsack. I loved Corruption because of Ken. Now I'm like, yeah, I'll root for you, whatever. Founding Fathers got Dan Murrell. I've loved Dan Murrell since 2009,
The
10.
day I was born.
Yes, since the day I was born. He didn't know it. I didn't know it.
More than Alex Damon?
No. Alex is still right there. You know what I mean? Like John is there too. I like John. Then Who's the Boss got.
Wait.
Then Who's the Boss got one of my favorite people in this space. Bidoor, stop looking at me. Stop it.
Look, here's how it goes, man. Look, I'm trying to help Ferris out here a little bit. He's right though, because like when you watch this stuff, you fall in love with the characters, and because we're in the space, right? Because we like love, like I love Riley. I think he's one of the greatest people on this planet.
I wish JDM. I wish.
But the thing is like when you're that invested, when you love some of these players that much, and like you're watching them, you get even more invested than I would say some of your sports teams, because we love our sports teams, right? But like we love them sometimes from a distance.
That's just the logo. That's just the logo, man.
You don't know
those.
Exactly. You don't know those players most of the time personally. We know their names. We see them on the TV, and we see them make great plays. But like when you hang around with Dan, when you see Dan and get to talk to him, or even go on one of his shows, or you go to do one of his Patreon hangouts. Same thing when I do that with Mark Riley or some of the other characters here. Like, you get really super close to some of them sometimes. Like, and with that being said, sometimes you get even more invested in sports. And that's one of the great things I can see about the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. That's one of the things, like, I hope it never ends, man. I hope it keeps going, because it brings me that joy of rooting for people. Really getting to root for individuals. Let
me break kayfabe for a minute. Bateman versus Guy is going to be emotionally draining. Breaking it, because... like, contrary to private belief, Ben Bateman I like the guy. Seems like he's like an amazing guy. You know, I've met him, I've talked to him. Oh, I've never met him, actually. I've only talked to him. Andrew Guy is just as great as a human. You know, having to watch these matches, knowing for a fact that one of the people you root for is going to lose, is going to have pain on their mind. Because they're going to lose. It's not like they're going to be a draw, and once, well, it's a draw, we'll move on. One of them's going to have to lose. I'm probably going to cry. You know what I mean? Same thing with Shazam. Same thing with Shazam and Who's the Boss. I'm a big fan of the kid. I think the kid's an amazing dude. I think Mark Riley's an awesome dude. Bibbs seems like a great guy. I think Bibbs gets a little raw deal here and there with some people. They be going after Bibbs' neck unfairly on occasion. And I'm always been a big fan of the Beast. And the same thing with Bateman, man. One of them's going to have to lose, man. And I'm not ready, man. I need therapy.
Look, I completely understand, because like
we all agree with that, Ferris.
You are making a couple of great points here, and the thing about like why the people that are big fans of the Schmoedown stay big fans are going to be there for a long time, because of those simple facts, right? Like you get to talk to these people like one-on-one sometimes, according on like if you're involved with their Patreons, like I brought it up earlier. And like you said, like you got Bateman and Guy. Think about this. They act like they're enemies on screen. One's called the traitor, you know, of the Action Army, and the other one's, you know, Andrew Guy now talking about the Schmoedown, and some people think, well, I remember the Schmoedown on our podcast now, but we don't know. I don't think it is, but whatever. You know, we got people out there spreading rumors, but I'm just saying, those rumors aren't true. I'm speaking to you, Travis.
Heard of it.
I'm speaking to you, Travis. They're not true, okay? But with all that being said, it's like these two guys are legit best friends. They're legit best friends. Not only do they have to cut promos against each other and knock each other down some, they have to go into a match. And you know it's important for both of them. They both love the game. But it's like you said, Ferris, one of them has to lose. So like, that's kind of a crappy thing. Like, you're going to win the match. Like Bateman or Guy's going to win that match, for instance, and almost kind of feel bad about it because they had to knock their friend down in the rankings, or had to knock their friend away from being able to have a chance for the belt. Like
to just get production saying, I'm sure that's what someone in the Schmoedown would say.
Pretty sure.
Absolutely agree. Real quick before we keep going, if you have any questions, either send them into Streamlabs right now or ask them in the chat. Whatever you'd like to do, we will answer some questions before we end. But now that this match is over, we now know who's going to be in the tournament, which is it Spicy Sabrina Ramirez? Or
Spicy Sabrina? No.
Yes.
It's Spicy Sabrina Ramirez.
Yeah. Which one of them?
Sizzle.
So we now know she's in the tournament. So I saw somebody asking
she will have one cool. She does have one cool catchphrase.
No, she needs to beat Vinny Mancuso.
Yeah, she's got to do a playing game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a match. There's a playing match, and so
yes,
they were saying who will play. What matches will come out first? I'm assuming that's probably going to get taped tomorrow.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vinny and
because
Sabrina?
it released Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday. So I'm assuming that's gonna be released tomorrow. And Coca Bird, yeah, this might be upset city right here. Sorry to take it from Andre Cabreras, but Roca versus Collins is a match I can't wait for. Yep,
This
that
could
might
be
upset silly.
that could be an amazing one. Look, I'm just telling you right now, the one catchphrase that I know Spicy Sabrina Ramirez can have is easy one right off the top of the bat. Oh, she's coming in cooking with spice.
No,
Yeah,
No.
Justice, stop it. Travis,
you're great
for
at cutting promos, but
yeah,
leave
to that.
leave the nicknames and the other stuff to the professionals, please.
Travis came in with a donation from Streetlads. Appreciate you, bro. For pure entertainment standpoint, would anything top a Guy Murrell 2 match for the title? No.
No.
Because
No.
to me, hold up
No.
first. That got me into the Schmoedown. Was the first Guy Dan Murrell match. And when Guy jumped on the table, started flipping people off, and you see Christian's face. I have asked that question. I don't know if you go back to SCN when I was sending in Streamlabs. I literally asked that question. The Guy, I asked it to the Christian, what were you thinking that whole time? And he was just saying, I had this match of a Murrell versus Sam Levine, and Guy screwed it up, and I was freaking out. And so, no, I think if that happens, I probably will freak out. I will get emotionally invested in that match because I would love to see that again. Because
So
I don't know if
you
you
didn't have the build up to it. You didn't have him coming into the
No, I didn't know
free
it.
for all with the Dan theme and all of that.
I just happened to put it on, and what got me hooked is because I've always loved heels, like Mr. Perfect, when Bret Hart was a heel, Stone Cold, Hollywood Rock, Hollywood Hogan. Just the fact that he jumped on the table, started flipping everybody off, and he's like, fuck you. I loved it. I was like, wait, what is this? And I had to go back and look at all this stuff. The build-up was great. So this would even be better, I think, for a build-up. But what really struck me with if this were to happen was when Dan Murrell went on Action Industries, I believe, or it was one of their shows. It was one of their shows, and they
the Action Guys on Sunday.
Yeah, and it was the first time Guy and Dan talked about it. Watch that interview. That gets me emotionally invested because it was crazy to hear both sides. Because there's a thing that Dan Murrell actually didn't like Guy because of that match, and he thought ill will because he thought he was taking and there's this whole thing. So I would definitely recommend that to go watch that on Guy and Bateman's channel. It was great. I love that interview, and I got respect for both of them. But what do you guys think? I kind of took over there and went on a rant. What do you guys think, Bidoor?
I really want a Guy versus Dan match. I really want it.
Like Roca wants Alex's.
Who?
Oh yeah.
I don't see. I'm a little different, man. I kind of want the Bateman versus. I wanted a rematch of Bateman versus Murrell as soon as I left Atlanta. So I want that very, very bad because when I look at it, like Murrell got Dan at the perfect time at that perfect moment. Like when Dan was coming back and didn't really get and understand some of the stuff that was going on, and he really got kind of shook. I don't see a Dan Murrell today getting beat by like it would be cool. Like the lead up to it would be really fun. I wouldn't be, everything can happen. We learned it this year, especially anything can happen, but I just don't have faith that Guy could take out Dan Murrell. But I would really like to see if Ben Bateman could finish the job he got done in Atlanta.
The thing is, Bateman has had the belt. Yeah, I agree.
JDM 32. Deep down, Dan wants revenge against Guy.
I wouldn't say revenge because that's too extreme.
Yeah,
I think he wants a rematch to prove that was a one-off thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on, give a belt to someone new. Give it to Guy.
Yeah. What about you, Ferris?
And I'm not just saying it because to throw off rumors, but no, I really want it.
I mean, man, dude, look, I can't. It's hard to argue because I think any one of these matches would be great.
Oh yeah,
I think
any of them are going to be great, but I'm excited. Like, what do you think, Ferris? Because you lost your mind. Did Ferris not hear us?
Oh, I heard you.
Okay.
I'm just thinking real quick. Seeing Andrew Guy with a singles belt would look real nice. Would look real good with that nice, that winged collar thing he has, the cane he walks with, the swag lean he got, the suits that are tailored, allegedly tailored. It's not gonna happen though. It's not gonna happen though, because the problem is he's not getting past Bateman.
You don't think so?
Nah, man. If he does, great. Bateman's a crazy person. That's all Bateman does is watch movies and something like that. Unless someone on this panel got some inside information that doesn't want to share with nobody. I'd really like to know.
Yeah, we all. It's Justin.
What?
Yeah. Justin.
So,
What did I do?
You know what you did. You know what you did. So yeah. So
the fact is he ain't gonna get past Bateman. That's the fact. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen.
I mean, it could. You gotta go. Like I said, I see where like Bidoor and I see where Suge's coming from, because it would be an exciting match. It's like a rematch of a match that we all loved because of the craziness that happened, the look on people's faces, and stuff like that. But that's like one of those one-time things. That's one of those one-time things that happens that possibly doesn't happen again. Like,
got my eyes on you.
I'm seriously 100% would love to have the Ben Bateman rematch is what I would love to have personally. But hey, we got some stuff going on. Like next week, we've got big time. Like, what are that they released the schedule for next week? Like as far as like the matches, I know we got to have one play-in match.
Well, I was just looking at the notes right now, and we got the actual dates from. But real quick, Stardust Bateman has holes in his magic too. I'm gonna expose those. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna expose those.
Gonna take him out.
JD Hems 32 says Bateman does play Magic the Gathering while studying. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna take him out. And then we got a donation from Travis again saying Bidoor is not Schmoedown. Exactly.
Wow, like what happened there?
I don't know, and it's freaking me out. He's
What
been
happened to
so
Travis?
nice. I don't know. He's been so nice. I haven't went to bed or gone to sleep. Woken up without like a fuck you message from him, and I feel so weird.
I've been feeling kind of weird right now too. I've been feeling a little weird right now too.
Like if Justin was ever nice to me, I'd be like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?"
Traditions Production says, Bidoor, are you native? Because you have native auntie look of disappointment down with Ferris. That's pretty funny. Question, which bubble team in the middle of the pack will be a top contender at the end of the singles tourney? That's
What?
Which bubble team in the middle of the pack will be a top contender at the end of the singles tourney?
Yeah, he's talking about. He's probably talking about like Tom and Paul or Cuckoo's Mess or Butcher Boys or Deep 13
Did they release the whole team's list?
bracket.
No, I don't think so.
Are we talking about factions?
Factions.
Is talking about factions? Or
Well,
teams?
he
meant factions.
Sorry, he meant factions.
Yeah.
Factions.
No, I think it's a 3-horse race. It's a 3-horse race.
I think
Like
they can get back into it.
who do I want? Or
Well, I know
what team outside the top 3 would you think could vault themselves over them?
I heard that, Justin.
I mean, I know she wants to win it. There's nothing about that at all. Like, I know out of those 4 that he mentioned specifically in the chat room there, the Den, Rockstars, Mercs, or Dungeon, I know who she's picking. I know who she wants to be and come into the foray. But I'm sorry, they shot their load a little too soon, and now they're out.
No,
of
I
it.
think the Den has the opportunity. I don't
No,
think.
no,
Oh, I'm not. He's not thinking. He's not
the
thinking
dungeon,
about the
fool.
den.
Yeah, yeah.
We ain't talking
The
about
dungeon
you.
was the dungeon
Us
was out of
too.
it when the dungeon was out of it when they lost the IG tournaments.
Yeah.
We don't even talk. We
But-
don't even talk about them.
Hey man, you watch your mouth, man.
Excuse
Beanie Man Kuso's gonna shock people.
Excuse you. You have like 2 dungeon people in here, like not just
Watch your
dungeon head,
mouth.
but like in the dungeon.
Yeah,
Man.
you guys are in the dungeon. You're in last place. Of course.
Yeah,
you're in
but
the
we
dungeon.
we start.
No, we're
next
not. The
season, so
Burning
that's fine.
Droogs. The Burning Droogs are in last place.
No, it's like a 3-way tie.
Hey, we don't talk about that.
No, but still, they're not last place. They're 2 points ahead.
I don't think the Den or the Rockstars necessarily are totally out because I think the Den has a good teams. I think both the Den and the Rockstars have a good team to put in the teams tournament, so they could get us some points there. And they do have sneaky players in the singles that I think might could have big runs, especially the Rockstars. Like if Jeff Snyder and Mark and Draco both go on a run, they could actually get some points.
Hey, man, you know why?
Like really bad players coming up. They got some good players and some good chances to do something.
You know why the Rockstar didn't fall deep into the hole? You know why? You know who gave them most of their. You damn right, Bidoor. You dang right. The Rockstars were kept alive by Alex Damon. Now the other team
I
needs
think
to
they
pick
have
up
12
slack.
points, and 10 of them were from Alex.
Alex Damon. All right. So now
Better.
Draco and Schneider and Del Rio and who was the 4th person?
I don't know.
And their 4th
I
person
don't know.
need to pick up the slack. You know what I mean? Because the demon got things to do, man. He's playing Fall Guys on Twitch, man. And he has a Star Wars match to study for. So it's y'all turn to pick up the slack. Snyder,
real
I'm
quick.
gonna shoot Jeff.
Real quick, we actually have the matches because remember, because of the one of the play matches, we're actually gonna get 5 matches next week.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
That's gonna be
Jim
amazing.
Bavida.
So
That means we have to do a show on Wednesday.
yeah.
So we have Lon
Until
Harris.
this is done, we're having 2 shows. No.
We have Lon Harris versus Sabrina Gaves Monday. Paul Preston versus
Sabina.
Eric Zipper Tuesday. Tuesday. Vinny Mancuso versus Sabrina Ramirez Wednesday. Jada Paramo versus Jim Vavida Wednesday. Brendan Meyer versus Alonzo Dorado Thursday, and then we have
Duralde?
Duralde. Sorry, Ferris. And so we're gonna have.
man,
It's gonna be an exciting week. I hope you guys are all ready for this week because this is gonna be amazing. We're gonna be talking Schmoedown a lot, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm really excited about this week. And that was another thing too. Now Sabrina's gonna be playing. We know Sabrina's gonna be in the singles tournament. And actually, somebody did ask, did we pick all 4? Yeah, we picked all of our matches. We picked correctly.
No, except
Marisol
Bonnie
McKee,
Somerville. Cause some. Oh no, we did pick Marisol. Yeah, you're right.
What do you, Ferris?
Yeah, we picked. No, sorry, I messed up. I'm sorry.
So yeah.
Yeah, okay, so
have,
we picked the 3 play-ins that already happened. We picked them correct, and we picked Vinny Mancuso to beat Sabrina. And if Vinny beats her, we were correct on all of our picks.
And coming up, we have Adam Collins playing Roca first round, stuff like that. But we had Adam Collins. We picked him right. We haven't got the Vinny Mancuso Sabrina match, but yeah, so we got in all our play-ins matches. We picked who was going to win in those matches correct so far. That's what I said. We have done good leading up to this tournament. All the things we thought was going to happen, including Ethan beating Roca and then Dan Murrell beating Ethan, happened. So like the way we set up our bracket was perfect. We had the right people in there. So we done the thing. So we'll see what goes on and we'll see what happens coming up. But that's just crazy. Like I'm going to tell you right now, if I looking at those matches next week, just real quick, the one person I think that could pull up the upset, and I hate it because if it happens, it's going to tear our bracket apart. Because you had Brandon Meyer up there, I could easily see Duralde coming out with a victory against Meyer.
You're crazy.
Nah, man, that dude's got knowledge. He's kind of like a Lon Harris. As long as he plays the game correctly and doesn't do any mess ups, he could win. And like we said, Brandon Meyer looked kind of shook today. Like if he comes in with a better attitude, comes in a little more calmed down, I think Brandon Meyer's fine. But like if he comes in like the day down himself and stuff like that, Dorade could easily beat him. Dorade has a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. So we're gonna start wrapping up. We are gonna send you to somebody else's stream, which is gonna be the awesome Mark Riley. So don't leave. We're gonna go over. Don't leave. We're gonna rate him, and when we rate him, I want to see the Ferris gifts in his chat. I say
no, I don't.
And no puppies.
And the puppies. Okay. So before we start rating him, let's start plugging stuff. We'll start off with Ferris because he never has anything to plug. Ferris, what you got to plug?
Yeah, I do got something to plug. Yo, we have an audio podcast feed for Spotify. Well, not in Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts and Anchor. So follow us on the audio feed. You know, help us out on the audio listeners, man. Come on, do that for us. 2, we also had the double feature come out today. Go like it, subscribe to it, and love it because Suge and Justin were on there talking about Friday Night Lights and Varsity Blues, 2 of the greatest football films of all time. That's my plugs.
There we go.
And find me in an assortment of chats and channels. Do your thing.
Bidoor, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BIDOORR, and I play video games on Twitch. We're going to be playing Jackbox tomorrow, and then we have Justin and David B doing some voiceover work for a video game that I'm playing that includes a lot of reading that I don't want to read. And it's also at BIDOORR.
And now that Dead by Daylight... Go ahead.
And I play Dead by Daylight to scare.
But now it's cross-platform.
And now it's cross. Yeah, and now Shane is gonna play with me. Yeah.
Damn right.
We also have the interview with Ken Knapsack coming out. Shut up, Ferris.
Got him. Got him.
Wait, hold on. You know what she just did the fair? Hold up. You know what she just did the fair?
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Thank God, I thought you were gonna put something else. I was like, we're gonna.
All right, sorry. But
yeah, we have an interview with Ken Knapsack coming out on Saturday. Be sure to check that one out. Yeah, that's it.
Make sure to check out that I showed up late to that interview.
Yeah, and I took the reins to it. So
damn right, because she's amazing. Love
Bidoor. She do a good job.
Real quick before
let me know what I did wrong.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. Before we get to J-Ham, I know he's gonna bring it up, but I'm gonna shout it out. The 5-pointer. You guys need to go check that out. That is a new Schmoedown show. I love Justin to death. We share him with another podcast, and that's okay. But him and Larry do a great job. So make sure he's gonna bring it up again. But I'm saying, make sure you check that out. Go ahead, J-Ham.
Well, here we go. I'm not gonna bring it up since you already brought it up. So I'm just gonna look, man. The double feature is something that my boys Alex and Colin and me got together and wanted to talk about some movies. I really started doing it because I wanted the excuse to watch more movies and to really get involved in them more. But we really need y'all's help to see what we can and can't do to improve the show. So if you can, go over there and watch a decent amount of one. Don't go over there and just watch like 2 minutes. I need you to go over there and watch like a good 15 or 20 minute segment and tell us and give us feedback, whether it's in DMs or whether it's on, below the actual show. Let us know what we can and can't do to improve, because it's a totally brand new thing that we're doing because we love movies and we want to be able to talk about them. Then we also got the Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmoedown podcast, which we're going to be doing an interview with Ken, like Bidoor brought up. I'm doing some 2 characters over there on one of her things, which I can't do tomorrow. I won't be one of the games she plays tomorrow because I'll be closing at my job and I got to be on the Gucci first. So that won't be happening tomorrow, but maybe another day coming up. And yeah, man, I love all y'all guys. I love all the support. If y'all can, we're super close to the number now. We're only like 10 away the last time I checked from being 350 subscribers. That'd be super awesome, especially because we have shows that almost 500 people's watch. So it'd be really cool if some of them would actually just subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps us out. Subscribe to the Twitch if you want to help us out, because some of the things we're trying to get better. We want to be able to do more things, maybe even more graphics and cool little videos and get stuff done. But unfortunately, that costs money. In a time like this, and COVID especially, people are having to do what they have to do to make ends meet. So we have to pay for their services. We can't get those things for free. So yeah, man, help us out any way you can, even if it's just the comments and stuff like that and likes on the videos. Help us out that way. Get us the views. We're getting up there. I'm pretty proud of this thing that we have done. I'm proud that Bidoor joined us. I'm proud of a lot of other things that we've done. And we got cool ideas. Bidoor's got 2 great ideas that I can't really say a whole lot about. I can't say anything about them, but like a couple of things that's coming up. So I am getting excited about them. Both of them, actually. 2 great ideas. She's a gold
He's still
mine.
talking?
Yeah, I'm still talking. But let's get out of here, man. But that's it.
Yeah, we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be
love all
ready,
you
Mark
guys.
Riley. So make sure you stick
And
around.
I love Mark Riley, so you better stick around so that you go over there and you raid and you do your thing and just put all kinds of crap in there. I don't care what it is. Make Mark Riley happy.
And just
He's a
make sure
great
to
guy.
follow the podcast. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on YouTube. We're almost to 400. If you can help us get us there, that really be appreciated. Thank you for all the support. We love and everything. Today has been a really hard day for me, and this just made my day a lot better. Hanging out with you guys. I appreciate and love all of you. And make sure that to love each other, because you never know when something, when life could take a turn for the worse. So appreciate everybody. We are going to send you to Mark Riley right now. So make sure to spam the chat with Ferris emotes and another ugly emote that I had on here before I started this podcast. So and spam Bidoor's emotes. All right. So we're going to get out of here. Love all you guys. Have a good night.
It's for real. I'm ready.
Thank you for watching the Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmoedown podcast. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.